What's up, all my Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as Star Wars Girl, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a review of the new She-Hulk show that premiered on Disney+, and this is going to be covering episode 1. There will be spoilers, just FYI, let's get that out of the way right now. But before we get into it, guys, my channel is hardcore shadow banned here on YouTube, so if you guys haven't already, please smash that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. Make sure that that bell is set to all, that way you guys actually get notifications when I do videos and live streams. And also, guys, every single like, share, comment really helps me fight this shadow ban. It is incredibly frustrating, but when you say the truth, sometimes you piss off the wrong people and then they like to suppress you. So that's been what is going on here on my channel, for those that are wondering. But anyways, let's get into the topic of this video, which is She-Hulk. Now, if you guys are new here, then welcome. You guys probably don't know this. She-Hulk is one of my favorite characters. And so with everything that had been building up for before they even released the show, there was all of these things trying to change who Jen is, and it was absolutely infuriating to see, like, seeing the way that the people that were just writing the She-Hulk comics were doing, and then now seeing it in the show and having to sit there and just be, you know, insulted as a fan, because they really want to push the whole, oh, this is like strong female empowerment, this is a strong female character, you must love it. And it's like, well, yeah, I did. I really enjoyed She-Hulk, especially when it was John Byrne writing her. And that is not the case right now. I think it is absolutely insulting as a woman to see what they have done to this character that I grew up loving. She-Hulk was always a huge inspiration for me, and seeing what they have made her become, just some ultra feminist weirdo who has to degrade men to make herself feel better about herself, that's insulting not only to women but also to the fucking character. So right off the bat, it made my freaking blood boil. And I did a whole nother video where I really went off and I ranted about this one specific scene that will be linked down below in the description of this video. Go check it out. Also, everything that I do show on these videos will be linked down below, so always make sure, if you guys wanted to hear a little bit more in depth about something, all of that will be linked down below in all of my videos, just to give you guys an FYI. So to get into the episode, it starts off with her, you know, showing how she's going to make her closing argument. For those that don't know, Jen Walters is a lawyer. That's why She-Hulk, attorney at law. And so she's, you know, kind of given her little spiel on how she's going to do her closing argument. And of course, it's her and her paralegal and then the other lawyer that works with her, who is a man. And he's like, no, I think I should do it. It would be stronger coming from me, which you finally get a glimpse at later on in the episode, because the character that is the you know, opposing lawyer to Jen is also a man, and he's making a point about a man-owned business and whatnot, and how, or like the bad guy, because it's on the opposite side of Jen, but how the guy was just doing what he had to protect his business. And so the way that they totally gloss over it, maybe it'll be brought up in another episode, but I'm actually in agreement with the dude lawyer. Like, when you hear the little bit of the other guy's closing statement, it would be more impactful to hear, you know, a man combat that, because when it's a guy saying, hey, like, I'm a man, sorry, I forgot to silence my phone before I started filming, and of course that's when everyone decides to text you, right? But the way that the other lawyer's closing argument was that he's a man trying to protect his business and his assets, and it would be stronger, at least in my own opinion, if it was another man coming up and being like, no, that's not, you know, that's not the way to handle it. You know, this I don't know if they're the defendant or the plaintiff in that situation. They didn't really talk about that, but you know, obviously was in the wrong, and then explain as a man how he did it wrong and how that's not the way to go about things. I think that would be stronger, and I'm a fucking woman, so it's not like, oh, suppressing women. That's not the case. You have to have like really thin skin to take that kind of stuff personally, but that's the whole tone of the show. Because she's a woman, she has to cut down every single man. And a majority of this show, or this first episode, is her explaining how she became She-Hulk, which in and of itself is freaking stupid. If you guys know anything about She-Hulk, you guys will know that the way that Jen became She-Hulk was she had to have a blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce. Now, Bruce Banner, the Hulk, is her cousin, and he was the only one that could save her, and it physically pained him to know that he might be cursing his cousin to the same fate that he had. But unlike Bruce, Jen didn't have all the psychological trauma that Bruce had, and so when she does become She-Hulk, she doesn't have to struggle as much with like the id and the super ego and all of that, which I will get into a little bit later, because there is a lot of actual psychology that goes into the Hulk, and you know why he's such a great character. And again, I'll talk about that a little bit more. But with this, she gets cut because they get into a car accident while they're having a debate on if Captain America is a virgin or not. And she gets a little cut, and because Bruce has like some kind of inhibitor on him to keep him from becoming the Hulk so his arm can heal after the Thanos snap, which is fucking stupid, and it just shows that the people writing this show don't know anything about Jen, let alone the fucking Hulk. Hulk can heal within moments while he's in Hulk form. Did you not see how many times he's gotten into fights and he heals? He's very much like Wolverine. Like Wolverine can heal. That's part of his fucking powers. Same fucking thing with the Hulk. Remember that scene where he's like, I tried to put a bullet in my head and the other guy spit it out? Oh my gosh, it's almost as if he's super fucking strong and has super fucking healing abilities, right? So it's just so infuriating that he's like, oh no, I have to have this little bracelet on and that little bracelet will keep me in human form. It's like, bitch, are you fucking stupid? You're supposed to be one of the smartest people on the face of the planet, and you're too stupid to know that if you would have turned into the Hulk, you would have fucking healed yourself? Give me a fucking break. And 1 or 2 drops of his blood got in her cut. Give me a fucking break. They had to change it because heaven forbid a man save a woman. Heaven forbid the Hulk save his cousin. Oh my God, the horror. And then there's this whole scene where it's these girls, like she gets into the car accident, she becomes the Hulk, or She-Hulk, and then she's like wondering, she doesn't know what happened, she's in this bathroom in some bar, and instead of saying like, hey, I need to call like 911, I need to call my cousin, I need an ambulance, I was just in a car accident, she's just like in the bathroom and a bunch of girls put makeup on and clothes on her, and I'm like, okay, one, girls aren't that nice in real life. One of them would probably have said something snarky. Yes, a couple of girls would have helped her, but all she had to say was like, no, I got into a car accident, but instead they immediately jumped to, what guy did this to you, or what girl did this to you, or what them did this to you. It's like, people aren't that fucking stupid in real life, or at least in my personal experience. I mean, there's a lot of stupid people on the internet, so maybe the people writing the show just don't spend any time in real life, and that's where they're getting their little things from. It's absolutely infuriating, the shit that went on in this episode. And then she has like better blood than Hulk, so Hulk finds her and saves her from guys that were catcalling her and guys that were hitting on her, and I'm like, okay, those guys were not drunk enough to be doing the shit that they were doing. They were also they're trying to play it off in Mexico. And I'm like, have these people never been to Mexico? Have you never seen like the shady kind of people that you do not want to be around in Mexico? Because if they would have switched, if they would have actually gone and like filmed this in Tijuana, and they could have just found people on the fucking street to like make her that creeped out to where she hulks out and fights them, that would have been believable. But you have a bunch of clean cut guys that are just like, oh, hey, like, what's your name? How are you doing? Like, who are you waiting for? Do you need help? Like, it just, it was so unbelievable and so forced that it's insulting to like women that have actually been in uncomfortable situations and men that have been in uncomfortable situations where you have people that are forcing themselves like into your space and into, you know, your bubble, like physically getting into your bubble while they're like aggressively wanting something like that from you. And that was not the case here at all. And it's almost as if there's this thing that they do on the internet where it's I think you can find it on YouTube. I'll see if I can figure it out and link it down below. But it's where like AI write like scripts on how they think people interact. That's really what this episode feels like. It feels like some kind of AI that doesn't know anything about humans wrote an episode on how it thinks humans would interact with one another. It's absolutely fucking bizarre. But so Bruce takes her back to his little like beach resort house thing, and he tries to train her to be She-Hulk. And this is when he's like, your blood cured my arm. I can turn back into Hulk now. It's like, bitch, you could have turned back into the Hulk a long fucking time ago and healed yourself, but she's got like magic Hulk blood, so she's better than him. And she even says that. She's like, so I'm better than you? And it's like, oh my God, this isn't what Jen is like. This isn't what Bruce is like. This is so unbelievably woke and fucked up, and it's infuriating because she was already a great character. You don't have the way that Hollywood, I feel like, sees women is that they're only powerful and they're only strong if they're cutting down a man. And I'm sorry, as a fucking woman, I don't think that that's inspirational. I don't think that that's motivating. If you are a person that only feels strong by cutting other people's down, then I got news for you. You're not a hero. You're a fucking villain. And that's the way they're portraying Jen. And it's absolutely infuriating. And I said this in my other video that I brought up earlier. Now we're going to talk about the psychological aspect of it. So Jen is Bruce's cousin, which means she knows all about his life. She knows him extremely well. And she knows the trauma that he went through. And there's this one scene where she just goes, you know, you have no idea what it's like to struggle to be a woman. And it's like, bitch, you know that he watched his mother get beaten to death when he was a kid. You know he's got some serious psychological trauma, which is why he spent the last 15 fucking years trying to get it under control ever since he's become the Hulk. He's had some serious fucking tragedies in his life. His abusive father, he was abused as a child. He watched his mother fucking die. Everyone that he loves, like, it being in their life hurts them in some way or shape or form. He goes off to, you know, be by himself to kill himself. And then he comes back and his girlfriend dies and the entire planet goes down. He gets put on a fucking alien world where he's basically just a fighting prisoner and a slave for years. But no, oh my God, you got catcalled. Oh, smallest violin for you in the world and your problems, fucker. Really? Give me a fucking break. And it's so infuriating, the fact that she thinks that she's better than him in every way, shape, or form, which is not the way her character is. Not at all. That is all 100% the people that are writing this show, which again, they don't know anything about what it is to be She-Hulk or the Hulk in any way, shape, or form. So for those that do not know, what happens when you get infected with gamma radiation is it releases your id. And I always say it wrong. I say I say id, I say the. People always get mad at me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it right. It's just spelled ID. And so the way that this is a Sigmund Freud kind of thing. So it's, if you guys have ever seen this little trope where it's like you got the angel on your shoulder and you got the devil on your shoulder. Well, the devil is your id. That is, you know, the part of your brain, it's completely subconscious, but is the pleasure part of your brain where you give in to, you know, your deepest, darkest fantasies and desires. And it's all about getting you that instant gratification on what you desire most. And then you have your super ego, which is the angel on your shoulder. And that is the one that's like, this is what you have to do to achieve your goals. This is, you know, the right thing to do. And then you have your consciousness, which is your ego. That's the way that you know, portray yourself in real life. So when you get infected with the gamma radiation, it releases your id. So Bruce, who has always been weak and he could never defend himself, he couldn't save his mother, he couldn't save himself from his father or, you know, any of the bad guys, because he's one of the most intelligent people on the face of the planet, but he wasn't strong. So when he got infected with the gamma radiation, it released his id, which was his deepest, darkest desires and fantasies, which was to be the epitome of strength and masculinity. And that is why when he hulks out until, you know, this other thing happened, which is the Professor Hulk, which I'm not going to get into right now, but when he became the Hulk, he became so strong, so powerful, and the more he gets filled with rage, the stronger he becomes, because he was never able to do that before he got infected with the gamma radiation. He wasn't able to save his mother. He wasn't able to save himself. He wasn't able to save the people he loved, and that's his deepest, darkest desires and fantasies, is to be able to do that. And so that's why he becomes the Hulk the way that he does. Now, Jen is a bit different. She doesn't have, that psychological trauma that Bruce has. She knows about the shit that happened to Bruce. She's his fucking cousin. So this whole, you have no idea what it's like to control your anger, Bruce. It's like, bitch, you don't know who the fuck you're talking about. The person that wrote this show is a fucking moron and needs to go read a fucking book because it's absolutely insulting. You're saying that getting catcalled is worse than watching your mother get beaten to death when you were a child? Go fuck yourself, whoever wrote this fucking episode, you absolute piece of fucking trash. You're a pathetic excuse for a human for doing that. Like, give me a fucking break. You want to say that this is female empowerment? What kind of heartless cunt says that getting catcalled is worse than watching your mother get beaten to death? Fuck you, whoever wrote that. This is fucking bullshit. And the thing with Jen, when she becomes She-Hulk, if you did any kind of fucking research into it, Jen, yes, she has trouble asserting herself. And so that is one of her desires, is that she wants to be strong, sexy, confident. She wants to walk into a room and own the situation. She wants that. So when Jen becomes She-Hulk, she stays as She-Hulk for, 90% of her fucking life because she likes it. She likes being strong, confident, sexy, and, the way that she is when she's She-Hulk. But they didn't portray any of that. They made her into this weird CGI thing that's just a total cunt and a heartless bitch. Like, I'm sorry, that's not inspirational, and this isn't fucking She-Hulk. I'm sorry that this was a little bit of a long rant for me. I really like this character, and so, again, as a fucking woman, I find it insulting what they've done. But if you don't know anything about Hulk or She-Hulk and you're just watching this face value, I don't know how you can stomach it. It's fucking terrible. It's literally just woke feminist propaganda. And again, if you think being strong is cutting other people down because they're different than you, they have a different gender than you, I'm sorry, you're not the hero, you're the fucking villain. And they literally turned Jen into a fucking villain. And the only redeeming quality of this show was that you could really see that Bruce was trying to help his cousin. And then they had to throw in, there's like an extra scene after the beginning end credits where it's like, he finally reveals that Captain America lost his virginity, because that was a debate on if Captain America was a virgin or not. Shows how vapid these people are. But anyways, everyone, I've rambled on long enough. If you guys like this video, please let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought of this. Do you guys agree with my analysis? Do you not? Let me know down there. If you guys haven't already, please smash the like button. If you liked the video this far through. If you didn't, that's okay. Thank you so much for watching. And guys, if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Make sure that that bell is set to all. That way you guys actually get notifications when I do other videos and live streams. And until next time, everyone, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. What's up, everyone, and thank you so much again for watching my channel and my content. And if you would like to support me further, because I am not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, as much as I want Mio to get behind me and sponsor me because I love Mio, I actually created something. I created a cosplay calendar of some of your favorite video game characters, and this is the second cosplay calendar I have done. Everyone really liked the first one, and so, I really am grateful for everyone that's come out and support this one as well. It means the world to me. We already broke the total from last year's entire campaign in the first 30 days of this campaign. So thank you once again, everyone, so much for your support. And if you guys are new here and you guys don't know me, well, then this is a really good way to, get to know me and back my calendar and support my channel. There's a lot of really popular characters that were, requested for the first calendar, like Samus. So I started off with her. And unlike Hollywood, as I try to give you guys what you want, I try to give fans and nerds and, all of us that have been told F you by Hollywood to give, you guys what you want and what, you know, I want, which is staying true to characters and trying to, you know, do the best version of them that I possibly can. So as you guys can see here, this is my Jill Valentine. I got Jade from Mortal Kombat. I got the one and only Lara Croft, my girl Lara. Then I have Miranda from Mass Effect. Now I'm still adding images of these characters. There are going to be 12 different ones. And if you guys are interested in, you know, supporting an independent content creator like myself, this is the way to do it. I, you know, do the photos, I, you know, do the cosplay, I ship everything out myself. So this is a 100% my own project. So if you guys, again, want to support me and my channel and keep everything rolling, please consider backing my cosplay calendar. I would really appreciate it. The links are down in the description below. So please check that out if you guys haven't already. And if this isn't something for you, then maybe take a second and, you know, share it to somebody who this might be, you know, something they'd be interested in. Once again, everyone, thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.
Also, guys, I have a Twitch channel where I play video games like Elden Ring and KOTOR, as well as an Instagram where I post photos from my recent cosplay escapades. If you guys aren't following me on either of those, go do so now. The link is in the description of this video. And just in case if you guys are interested in my art, I have an art Instagram as well where I post all of the time-lapse videos from my recent project, the Eye project, as well as other projects that I've worked on if you scroll down further. And if you're interested in purchasing some prints of my art or stickers or bookmarks and stuff like that, any kind of merchandise that I make based on the stuff that I paint, you guys can go over to my Etsy. It's the Art of Anna TSWG. Everything, again, that I've showed you will be linked down below in the description of this video. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.